verse 2, the woman, it says, Salakia, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to assert authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, being Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Shatar. Here at Chicago Branch Great Millstone, prophesizing the return of the Heavenly Father Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shai. You all ignorantly call him Jesus, but his true and Hebrew name is Yahweh Shai. Coming at you with another lesson. Before we get started, we're going to give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakadash Barakatha. Double honors to our apostles and our elders here at Great Millstone who rule well. Honors to the hopeful elect. The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the biblical and true Hebrews of the Bible. Salutation to all the Akim out there pushing his word in truth and sincerity. The speckled bird, and all those whose lineage goes back to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Healthy Barakatha. And to the Aqua, and those of you out there listening and learning, Shalom and Barakatha to you also. The title of this lesson is Jacob and Esau, the Hidden Truth. This is a response video I'm doing to the Elder Malcolm. He requested to do a response and cut this lady up. So without further ado, let's jump right into the lesson. She was pretty much talking about, she had a show, the African Exodus show. And that lets you know right there, she's still under that Renaissance Christianity doctrine. And she's trying to sell a book she wrote, Conspiracy to Erase a Nation, okay? And first of all, we're not Hamites, okay? We're not from the seed of Ham, okay? We're not the children of Ham, we're the children of Shem. Okay, and you can find our bloodline in Genesis 11th chapter, okay? Chapter 11 in the book of Genesis, the generations of Shem. We're Shemitic people, all right? Okay. And first of all, again, it's Yasharallah, not Yashrael or Israel. Yeah, it is Israel in the English tongue, but it's not Yashrael, it's Yasharallah, okay? She talking about they trying to move Israel. Israel is not going anywhere. And the conspiracy was committed against the people of Israel. What they did, they stole our land, okay, covered up our culture and our heritage, hid that from us, and self-proclaimed themselves to be the real Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, the real Jews, okay? Stole the identity of the real Jews, the biggest case of identity theft the world has ever seen. And we're going to prove that through the scriptures, starting with Psalms. Let's get that Psalms, okay? Let's get Psalms, and we'll go to Psalms 83rd chapter, all right? And it says, a song of Psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. And this is King David praying to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel, okay? And that word tumult, they form a tumult. If you go to your Strongs, all right? For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Okay. Strong's H 1993. Strong's H 1993. And in the Greek, that word tumult is hama. Hama. And that's a loud noise, okay? And that's what King David is telling the Lord. The other nations are making a loud noise, screaming and talking against Israel, okay? And that word tumult, you can pretty much go in 1 Samuel. That's where it first appears at, I think, around the 4th or 5th chapter, okay? It says, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. And that word crafty, that's special counsel, okay? Okay, taking crafty counsel, okay? And if you go into that word crafty, you can go to the Strong's again in the Greek. Strong's H6191. Strong's H6191, crafty. And that word crafty, it's aram. Aram, okay? And that goes into the definition of crafty: clever at achieving one's goals or aims by indirect, or by deceitful methods, okay? Subtile, all right? And that word deceit goes into the practice of deceiving someone by misrepresenting or concealing the truth, okay? Let's go on now. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Consulted against Israel, okay, the Lord's chosen people. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, all right? And he's talking about the biblical Hebrews of the Bible, okay? The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the biblical Hebrews of the book, not those small hatters that's over there in our land right now, all right? It says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. That means all the nations have got together to conspire against Israel, okay? The tabernacles of Edom. See, and that's Esau right there, okay? And the Ishmaelites, those are the Arabs, all right? Of Moab, and the Hagarees, those are the Chinese. The Moabites are the Chinese. Gebal and Ammon and Amulek, another Amulek, that's the chief tribe. Okay, that's the head tribe. Okay, that's the head tribe of the Edomites. All right, they the chief tribe. Okay, Ammon is the Japanese. Moab are the Chinese. All right, the Ishmaelites are the Arabs. Okay, Amulek is the chief tribe. Okay. The tabernacle of Edom, all right? The Philistines and the inhabitants of Tyre. Those are the original Hamites right there, okay? Assur also is joined with them. They have hopping with the children of Lot, Salah. Again, Moab and Ammon, those are the children of Lot, okay? All right, so that's Psalms 83 lets you know right there. See, all right, and all these nations have conspired, okay, to take the hide and take away the real identity of the real biblical Hebrews, which are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Esau isn't disappeared from anywhere. He's the one that's running this world, this present-day evil world. I should say temporal present-day evil world, because it's slated for destruction, all right? And May 14th, 1948, David Ben-Gurion, the head of the Jewish agency, proclaimed the establishment of the state of Israel, okay? And U.S. President Harry S. Truman recognized the new nation on that same day. Now, the Lord gave us this land way before 1948, so that lets you know the people over there are imposters, okay? Self-proclaimed Jews, small hatters, 1948ers. That's why they Jewish. That word ish means kind of like, almost, close to, but not the real thing. Let me get you a couple of scriptures on that. All right. Deuteronomy 11 and 8. That's where we're going to start first. Deuteronomy 11, and I'll go to 8. All right. And it says, therefore shall ye keep all the commandments which I command you this day, that ye may be strong and go in and possess the land whither ye go to possess it, and that ye may prolong your days in the land which the Lord swore unto your fathers to give unto them and to their seed, a land that floweth with milk and honey. For the land whither thou goest in to possess it is not as the land of Egypt, from which ye came out, where thou soddest thy seed and watereth it with thy foot as a garden of herbs. But the land whither ye go to possess it is a land of hills and valleys, and drinketh water of the rain of heaven, a land which the Lord thy God careth for. The eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even until the end of the year. All right, so that's the Lord gave us this land way before 1948, okay? All right, so these people over there are imposters, okay? Esau ain't had nowhere. It's the biblical and true Hebrews of the Bible whose identity have been stolen. The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? Give me Micah. Let's get Micah. Let's get Micah 2 and 1. Okay, and it says, woe. That word woe means death, destruction, war, okay? To them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. So these people wake up working wickedness and they go to bed working wickedness. The people who are running this world in wickedness, okay? All right, Esau, Edom. We'll get a couple of scriptures on that as the lesson continues, all right? And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And that's what this wicked Edomite does. He's stolen everything that he has, all right? Pretty much all of his history is based on a lie. During the Renaissance period, Esau came into power and he whitewashed history. He went throughout Europe destroying the icons, artifacts, and relics by, by the way, so, it was so many of them. What I'm getting at, it was thousands of them. He couldn't get to all of them, okay? From Germany all the way, to Sweden, Russia, all the way back to Great Britain, all right? And Esau, all those icons and relics was letting you know that we was rocking hard in Europe, okay? We was rocking hard in Europe, and that's going into the Dark Ages, all right? For 1,000 years, we ran the world, okay? And during the Renaissance period is when Esau came back into power, all right? That's another lesson in itself. But he refuses, but he refuses to, all his history is based on a lie. And he refuses to accept who he is. He's the biblical Edomite, okay? All right? And all his history is based on a lie as well. And that's what he does. Everything he has, he's stolen. All right? He's stolen. That's what he's done. And we'll get one more revelation. Let's get that revelation, okay? Let's get Revelation. And let's get Revelation 3 and 9. All right, and it says, behold, I will make them of the synagogues of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Now, this scripture, the Lord is actually, it's in red, so it's Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai actually talking to those wicked Pharisees. He's talking to wicked Jakes, okay? But the scriptures are twofold. So this fits Esau to a T, okay? And they are the synagogues of Satan also, okay? Okay, and they say they are the biblical Hebrews of the Bible, and they do lie. And the Lord is letting you know he's going to make them worship at our feet and know that I have loved thee. He's loved who? The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the biblical and true Hebrews of the Bible. And again, this is a twofold scripture. He's talking about wicked Jakes, but it fits Esau to a T also. And she went into the Apocrypha as well, Dead Sea Scrolls, but you can buy 1611 King James Version Bible with the Apocrypha already in it. And the Apocrypha is simply the lost books of the Bible, the books they took out the Bible because they're trying to cover up the identity of the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the biblical and true Hebrews of the Bible. Esau, he's running the world right now today in wickedness, okay? And she touched base also on Flavius Josephus, okay? She went into the book of Jubilee. She went into all different kinds of books as if to try to throw the people off of reading the real book, which is the Bible, okay? I'll give you a precept on that in a minute. But Flavius Josephus was born 37 AD. And this is going into the Hellenization period and the Israelite foreigners, okay? And how they were killed for keeping the laws, okay? This is Greek rulership, the Hellenization period. And they were forced to eat swine, couldn't keep the seventh day. And this is the beginning of Edomite rulership, okay? And wickedness spread exceedingly. It's still spreading exceedingly because he's still running the world. It's being ran in wickedness, all right? And she talked about, you can go to the book of Maccabees, first chapter, 1 through 15, pretty much. But you read the whole book, okay? But that's going into what she was talking about there. And the wickedness spread exceedingly. And, you know, you can find all that, first Maccabees 1 through 15. And she's pretty much just going into how Esau just disappeared and he not mentioned. Then she showed clips of this pastor talking about Esau, breaking down the scriptures wrong. And Genesis 27th chapter, verses 1 through 10, that goes into Rebekah and how she helped her son Jacob get the blessing. All right. Genesis 27 and 13. She tells her son Jacob that his curse should be upon her because she's the one doing this. All right. And Genesis 27, 35 through 40, that's Esau crying. Let's get that. We'll get that one. We'll bring that one out. Okay. Genesis 27. And we'll start at about 37. Okay. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren I have given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? Okay. We'll go up one. Genesis 27 and 36. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he have supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he have taken my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? I just gave you Genesis 27 and 37, okay? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn, and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? So you see, Esau mad because he didn't Jacob didn't steal that blessing. If you go to Genesis, okay, you can go to Genesis and go to the 25th chapter, and it tells you how he sold his birthright to his brother Jacob for some raw meat, potted lentils, okay? And they like they meat raw this present day, all right? We'll get that in a minute, okay? But Genesis 27 and 38, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing? My father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. And that's what he do, go all over the world, pillaging, robbing, stealing, killing. Okay, thy dwelling should be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. And by the sword shalt thou live. Okay, all right, by the sword shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Okay, so that's Jacob's blessing, the sword right there, and that's what he lives by. What is he known? Salakia. I said Jacob's blessing. That's Esau's blessing, the sword. Okay, that's Esau's blessing, which is the sword. And what is he known for? Okay, he's known for his wars. All right, that's what he's known for. Okay, Esau, you got World War I, which was basically fought. Okay, to see who would be the chief tribe. Okay, and that's Teman, which are the Germans. Okay, that's another the tabernacle. That's one of the tabernacles of Edom. Okay, you got World War II. Okay, you got the French Indian War. All right, you got the independence, so-called independence with Great Britain. Okay, that's what he's known for, his wars. They are at war right now. They got boots on the ground in Ukraine. Okay, they got boots on the ground over there in Israel. In fact, a couple of the Palestinian boys say that it was American soldiers who was killing the children and stuff over there, all right? So that's what Esau is known for, his wars. And Salakia, if I said Jacob, okay? So Genesis, that 27th chapter goes into all that, and how he say he stole his birthright, but he really sold that birthright to Jacob, okay? And he was despised for that. The Lord hated him ever since he did that, okay? Romans 9 and 13. Let's grab that real quick. Romans 9 and 13. Romans 9 and 13, okay? And it says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated, okay? See? So ever since he sold his birthright to his brother, the Lord has hated him, all right? And he has been hated by the Most High since then. And I have to let you know one thing also. These so-called pastors, they have sold out. They signed them 501c3s. Those are basically gag orders. So they can't teach this gospel how it's supposed to be taught. They can't preach this gospel how it's supposed to be preached. And they've sold out for filthy lucre. Talks about what's going to happen to them in that Jeremiah 23rd chapter. You can start verses 1 through 10 around up in there, 1 through 5. And she kept talking about that second Ezra 6 and 9, how Esau just disappeared. Esau is the end of the world. Esau is the one running this world right now. He's running it in wickedness. Let's get this Job. Let's get this Job real quick. Job 9 and 24. Okay, Job 9 and 24. And it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And I just went into how when he came into power during the Renaissance period, how he whitewashed history. That's what he did. He went throughout Europe destroying or either whitening up the artifacts, the relics, okay, and the icons that were there, okay? but there were so many of them, thousands, that he couldn't get to all of them, right? And he went throughout Europe from Germany to Sweden, Russia, all the way back to Great Britain, all right? But he refuses to acknowledge the truth. And, through his pseudoscience, which is false science, his unrighteous decrees, he controls the narrative. But pseudoscience is simply a lie, all right? But we in an age where the truth is being manifested, and Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, self-proclaimed, has been proven to be the biblical Edomite of the Bible. All of his history is based on a lie, all right? So he's the one running this world right now. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. But before Jacob's world can begin, this world has to be destroyed, okay? And this world is slated for destruction. All right, so he didn't just disappear. He's the one running the world in wickedness right now today. Let's bring out these scriptures and get ready to close this lesson. We're going to get that Exodus. Okay, let's get Exodus. Okay, let's get Exodus 17 and 16. All right, and it says, for he said, because the Lord has sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And Amalek, again, is the chief tribe. That's the head tribe of the tabernacles of Edom. Those are the people over there in our land right now today, them small hatters, okay? Let's get Obadiah. Let's get Obadiah. And let's get Obadiah. We'll start at about 17, okay? And it says, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance. And that's talking about he's going to come back and destroy this present day evil world, temporal, because it's slated for destruction. Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai has a hit out on this place, okay, which is being ran by Esau, Edom, and it's being ran in wickedness. That's why it's going to be destroyed, Salakia. And he talks about Esau being the end of the world. And Jacob, which is the kingdom, is the one to follow, okay? But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, for they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it. Okay, so he's running the world right now in wickedness, and the Lord is going to destroy him. So as you can see, he ain't disappeared. Those wealthy 1%, those 13 elite families, okay, your global bankers who are controlled by the international banking cartel, the DuPonts, Bilderbergers, the Giddies, okay, the Rothschilds, those 13 elite families, that's who runs this world, and they're running it in wickedness. And the Lord is talking about he's going to destroy them, okay? So they ain't disappeared. They ain't went nowhere. And this is pretty much scriptures letting you know. And again, Flavius Josephus was born 37 AD, and this is going into the Hellenization period and the Israelite foreigners and how they were killed for keeping the law. You know what I'm saying? Made them eat swine. They couldn't keep the Sabbath day. And they took away their culture and their heritage, all right? And this is the beginning of Edomite rule. Then she turned around and lied again. She tried to use that Esau and Jacob was the one who had so much land, and they separated, okay? And he said, go this way, I pray thee, and go that way. But she's changing up the doctrine. Deuteronomy 4:1 tells you, we'll get that in a minute, okay? But she tried to say that it was Esau and Jacob but it was really Abraham and his nephew Lot. And that's going into Genesis 13th chapter, okay? And how let's get that. Let's get that real quick to prove this here, okay? Let's go in Genesis and let's get that 13th chapter. And okay. Okay, and we'll start, okay, at about 6. And it says, and the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together, for their substance was great, so that they could not dwell together. And there was a strife between the herdmen of Abram's cattle and the herdmen of Lot's cattle. And the Canaanite and the Perizzites dwelled there in the land. And Abram said unto Lot, let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdmen and thy herdmen, for we are brethren. Okay? Is not the whole land before thee separate? Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou wilt take the left hand, then I will take the right. Or if thou depart to the right, then I will go to the left. Okay, so this is going into Lot, all right, and Abraham. Okay, Lot is Abraham's nephew, and their substance was too great, and she tried to make this fit Esau and Jacob, which is changing up the doctrine. Okay, so let's get this Deuteronomy real quick. Deuteronomy 4:1, and it says, Deuteronomy 4:2, Salaki, it says, ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it. Okay, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you. So you're not supposed to add, okay, you're not supposed to add or take away from the word, and that's clearly what she did, all right? And that's not talking about Jacob and Esau, that's talking about Lot and Abram, okay? Abraham, all right? So from the it's pretty much like she was just paid off to say some stuff, all right? Like the elder Malcolm had just said. And from the 25-minute mark to the end, the last 10, 12 minutes, she just reading. She not doing anything, breaking down the scriptures. Isaiah 28, 8, 9 tell you precept got to be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, roughly paraphrasing. And that's Isaiah 28 chapter, verse 8, 9, round up in there. And she just reading and run on, okay? So that's why I started the lesson out with that 1 Timothy 2 and 11 through like 12, 13. And Job 39th chapter, verses 15 through 17, she ain't got no business saying nothing because the Lord has deprived her of knowledge to begin with. All right. But that's pretty much it. Just, it was kind of rough to listen to. Let me get this Matthew 24:24, and we'll close the lesson out. All right. Let's get that and close the lesson out. Matthew 24:24, and it says, for there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. See, and that's the elect of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. They can't pull nothing over on us, all right? They can't get nothing over on us because the Lord has revealed this word to us, and we're the only ones preaching this word in truth and sincerity, keeping the doctrine how it should be, all right? Again, she is a false prophet. I can't even call her a prophet because she ain't got no business preaching. But clearly, as the elder Malcolm has said, she was paid off. And pretty much letting you know, Esau is the end of the world. That's the only true statement she said. And Jacob, the beginning of it that followed. But Esau isn't disappeared at all. He's the one running the world. I gave you that Job 9 and 24, and he's running it in wickedness, okay? That's pretty much all I have right now, Israel. Lord will, the lesson is edifying through the Spirit. In closing, I'd like to say shalom and abab abo.